Silas.
Yes.
You're sitting in a room. It's warm, well-furnished, comfortable. A far cry from the prison cell you're used to. The only thing that's the same is the feel of the shackles around your wrists. You've been told that you're being given an opportunity that might just give you a second chance, or a bloody death. As you reflect on this, the door to the room opens and an officer steps inside. An older woman, her dark hair heavily streaked with gray and a gun belt slung over her shoulder. She sits down at the table across from you and sets a folder down on the table. You know without looking that it's a file on you. She drums her fingers on the table and looks you in the eye. Silas Rhodes, she says at length. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Seems to me you already know everything you need to.
I'm not interested in what the file says. I'm interested in you. If you're going to be joining my squad, I want to know what caliber of man I'll be fighting alongside with.
I slipped up. I made one careless mistake, and I'm paying the price for it.
So why are you here now, then?
If you really want me in your, whatever squad it is, some sort of death squad, that's on you.
Well, I do know one thing about this. If you're taking this opportunity, that shows me that you're not a quitter. And that counts for a lot with me. She gives you a long, silent look. And she picks up the folder in her hand, and with a flash of magic, it bursts into flames. The captain flicks the ashes away with her hand. From here on out, you have no past. Today, we're going to start writing a new file on you. So tell me, what's your name?
Fuck, dude, you caught me off guard. My name was Silas Rhodes.
My name is Captain Pilar Aguila. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. All right, who remembers what happened last time? Someone want to give us a recap? I put this on you guys.
Last episode, we proved we were better than everyone else.
And we are not delivering mail.
We are going behind enemy lines into German-occupied France to rescue a person of interest.
Well, still not delivering mail.
Right. Well, I mean, you might deliver mail along the way, but that'd be like a side quest.
That's just if we need to level up in a hurry.
That's how you guys get the good ending. Anyway, the squad is currently flying in formation across the foggy skies over the English Channel. Clouds whip by and the midnight chill gnaws at you through your fatigues as you dart through the sky, little more than shadows in the pale moonlight. Below you, the gray waters of the English Channel roil and churn in the wind. How are you feeling about your first mission?
Well, I know that I'm very eager to beat Guinevere in this race.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, only I'm going to be the one beating you.
Bold words coming from someone not on a motorcycle.
So Harmony and Guinevere are racing each other to France. What formation are the rest of you flying in?
The Flying V.
What sort of formation do torpedoes be fired in?
I say we do Green Beaver style. Definitely, I like that formation a lot. Yeah.
Can you describe it to me?
No.
Yeah, you take. First, you get into Green Beaver formation, and then you're there.
Listen, if you don't know what Green Beaver formation is, you're not ready to join the Witch Brigade.
Yeah.
Says...
You covered this in basic training. I don't have time to explain this to you.
It's not our job to educate you, Kellen.
I'm really hurt by that. I don't have a comeback.
I'm sorry.
All right, Guinevere and Harmony, I'm going to need you guys to engage in a contest to see who wins this race.
Hell yeah.
All right.
So basically what's going to happen here, nobody roll yet. I'm going to explain the rules.
Okay.
You guys are going to have to engage in a series of contested rolls where you roll against each other. Since you're flying, I think you're going to have to roll operation. And you guys are going to make a roll. Whoever rolls highest scores 1 point. If you beat the other person by 3 shifts or more, you score 2 points. And the first person to 3 points wins. But before you make your roll, you can try to create an advantage. You can try to roll to create a situation aspect that you can use to get a bonus on your roll. If you succeed, you can then make your contested roll normally with hopefully an advantage on it. If you fail, you forfeit the roll for that one, so the other person gets a free point. Any questions?
Yeah, how
so-
the hell do I roll for operation?
Creating an advantage is an additional roll as opposed to just putting a modifier on the roll.
You can roll to create advantage, which is create a temporary aspect that you get free invocations on that you can then spend on your contested roll to get a bonus.
Okay. But I can't just spend a fate point like on the roll itself as normal?
Oh, sure you can if there's an aspect you think you could invoke on it.
Well, I think I was going to invoke my bond aspect allergic to hippogriffs, with my reasoning being that since I'm not very fond of Titan, I would not want to suffer the personal embarrassment of losing a race to Titan, so I'm going to be just sort of like extra gun-ho about winning.
Oh, I'll accept that. Hand over a fate point.
And that gives me a +2?
That gives you a +2 on your roll, yeah. Allie, did you want to invoke an aspect to try create an advantage? I don't think you have operation with a bonus, so this is gonna be a tough roll for you without it.
Yeah, I want to spend a fate point to get 2 freaking points. How do I do that? What do I do? What do I say?
Which aspect are you going to invoke on this?
If you wanted, you could invoke your bond aspect to Titan.
Or, well, yeah, maybe. Or, like, my hot concept is espionage. Can I, like, not, like, jam something into Harmony's, like, motorcycle to make it fuck up?
Jesus Christ!
No, because that would be sabotage.
That would probably be another roll you'd have to
Damn
make
it.
to try to do that.
Alright, well then...
You're going to try and kill Harmony over this race?
What do I roll to shoot Harmony?
This seems kind of aggro, yeah.
No. Alright. Well, I guess I'll just use my bond with Titan.
All right, put down that sweet fate point.
Okay.
All right, so let's give you a +2 bonus on this roll. So both your roll operation.
Okay, ready? Boom. I got a 1.
I got an 8.
Whoa! You fuck.
Oh.
I called cheat.
I'm a mechanic. Operation is what I do.
I called cheat.
He's on a motorcycle. It's fast.
I called cheat.
I'm doing like loop-de-loops and like figure eights around Guinevere and Titan right now.
I think you were like, can I cheat and hurt him to make me win? And then, oh, he cheated.
All right, well that's 2 points for Harmony. So you guys are gonna have to go at this again.
It's first to 3?
It's first to 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to like blow all my fate points right at the start, so I'll just roll this one au naturel, I guess.
Guinevere, what do you want to do?
Oh, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just roll naturally.
Can I conjure sharks?
I got a 2. I rolled naturally. Damn it!
I got a 6.
Actually, yeah, this does bring up an important question, Adam. Are we able to, like, conjure sharks and just...
We create life.
I'm not prepared to deal with the ethical ramifications of saying yes to that question. Harmony, you pull ahead a decent distance ahead of Guinevere, and it looks like you've got this race locked up. I'm gonna ask everyone to make a recon roll real quick.
Boom, baby!
1.
I got a 1.
No, I got a 2.
You rolled 4 zeros. That's pretty impressive. +2. Okay, so Guinevere and Siobhan. Well, the rest of you don't notice anything, but Guinevere and Siobhan, above the whistling of the wind, you hear another sound approaching you. The mechanical drone of aircraft engines. Looking to the north, you see the moonlit gleam of 2 armored planes breaking through the cloud banks. They're approaching your position, but don't appear to have spotted you just yet.
Hey guys, there's planes up ahead there.
Why the fuck are we against fighter jets?
Because Adam...
Sorry, we're flying a motorcycle and a wicker basket and everything in between.
Yeah, something tells me a full-on dogfight might not be our best play right now.
Technically, they are. I looked up actual German military aircraft from World War II, and I liked this one. It's spelled like the word Junkers, but it's German, so I think it's pronounced Junkers.
Adam, is that accurate?
Might actually be Junkers. I'm not sure.
Right, well, 2 Junkers are approaching you from the north. Let's roll for initiative and resolve this situation in combat time.
It's just one initiative for everyone?
Yeah, who's your designated initiative roller?
Was that me?
Yeah.
It can be.
That was me.
Sure, it is now.
Wow, we got a 0.
Yeah.
A 0's not bad, it's just not particularly good either.
It's fine. This is fine.
Well, they also got a 0.
Well-
but you guys have a higher bonus, so you guys have the first round.
Ah.
But do we need to engage though? Like, if these guys are just like scouters, do we really want to let them be aware that we're even here?
I'm assuming we could just fuck off with this shit, but yeah.
I mean, it's up to you guys. Like, we could fight if we really felt like it, but at the same time, 4 of us are in cloud cover, and if Jack decides to, he could move into cloud cover too, hopefully stealthily.
Also worth considering is the fact that they are equipped with machine guns and missiles, whereas we have, let's see, a wicker basket.
Do they have missiles?
I'm not sure.
Well, they were primarily recon. Well, you know what? I don't know if I should tell you this. You might have to roll for this.
Oh shit!
What would
Okay.
I roll?
Tactics.
Oh, I have tactics.
As do I.
Can I roll operation to identify the make? Because I am an aircraft manufacturer by trade.
I'm going to allow this.
I was gonna say I'll invoke an aspect if I have to, but if that's not necessary,
Yeah, I feel like I should. It's in the spirit of fate for you to do that.
okay. So do I drop a fate
Yeah, I'd
point
give
on
you a
that?
fate point.
So that brings my 4 up to a 6.
Oh yeah. You I won't count this as like an action for you or anything. This is just like a free. It's like, do I know what this is? These are, as I previously stated, Junkers or Junkers. They are primarily reconnaissance aircraft, not intended for combat, just usually for scouting operations. They are equipped with light machine guns, but nothing heavier than that.
Can I conjure more cloud cover?
That's actually what I was going to ask.
Oh, Adam, smoke grenade.
I mean, it still explodes. By the way, it's Junkers, not Junkers.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna say making clouds would fall more under kinesis than conjuration.
Ah, damn.
Wait, can I not do an illusion though to draw them somewhere else?
You could absolutely make an illusion using illusion.
I mean, you could also just make illusory cloud cover.
Like have them fly into the illusion of like a storm or something?
No, or just like surround yourself with illusory clouds.
Break Niner, we're gonna have to turn around. A storm just magically appeared out of nowhere right in front of us. Break Niner, the rhino that killed my parents just appeared in this room in front of me. Over.
Oh man, that's a good one.
You guys are spending a lot of time talking about it. Is someone gonna do something?
I mean, I'll roll to be stealthy. Let's do that. 5 to stay hidden in the clouds.
Oh, you're hidden in the
There,
clouds.
There, how hard is that, everybody?
I will roll stealth as well, but also try to advance 1 zone forward, so I'm up with Guinevere.
That'd be nice, thank you.
I got a 2.
I don't have any modifiers for this, so this will be fun. Hey, I still fucking got a 3!
Nice.
For what? Stealth?
Yeah.
Okay, you're stealthed.
Alright, I guess I'll
Yeah.
also roll stealth. 3.
And let's see, my stealth roll is bad.
-1 harmony? Really?
It's a motorcycle. They're supposed to be loud, okay?
Oh god.
So the Junker's turn now. They're gonna fly down, and then they just rolled a 3 on their recon check. So
Ooh.
one of them tips their wing towards you as they appear to know something going on. So what do you guys want to do?
The best I could think of is rolling operation to try and make some evasive maneuvers and just hopefully pull myself out of their line of sight, or at the very least, draw them away from my squad mates.
Up to you, man.
A 4. What does that get me?
4, yeah, I'll say you're. Yep, I'll let you do that.
Hey, Kellen, what year is it?
1942.
All right, so I call bullshit on this fight.
It's an alternate timeline. Adam.
That's true.
I'm sorry, but the Junkers U-388 didn't fly
Gesundheit.
until the 22nd of December, 1943. All right, these things shouldn't be flying until a year later.
So this world is
That's the plot twist. Is these guys actually flew back in time? They're like the stars that are on Twilight Zone episode right now. And you guys just gonna kill them.
I totally like my headcanon generally is that any newer stuff that shows up here is just because like magic allowed for faster manufacture of previous models. People use magic to do some cool shit, so they're a little bit ahead.
Don't defend the guy who's trying to kill us.
They're not trying to kill us yet. They barely even know we're here. And the last guys used paintballs. So far, I have not. There's been no attempts on my life.
Well, something tells me these guys will not be using paintballs on us, so...
I have an idea.
Ideas are good.
I want to first see if Siobhan would know anything about the plane using a tactics check, specifically the engines.
I'll let you do that without using an action, sure.
Okay. 5. What do I know about their engines?
Man, in order to answer that question, I would have to know the specifics about a World War II plane's engine.
It would just be like, if you noticed any sort of weakness, or you heard
Not
some
so much-
intelligence was like, hey.
Not so much weakness, it's more like what I know, like the general blueprints of their engine.
With a 5, I'll say yes.
Cool, I'm conjuring a cropload of glass inside of it.
This sounds like an attack, so I'm going to make a defense roll against it.
3.
He rolled a 3 on his attack, I rolled a 3 on my defense, so since they tied, they do not take any damage, but you do get to create a temporary aspect on them.
Would engine trouble be an aspect?
What's that
Or
noise?
would it be more like if the engine is pushed any further than it is? If they try to do anything fancy or something like that, then they'd have.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a kind of invoke that would work?
Can you give it a punchier sounding name?
Planned obsolescence.
Ooh.
Engine done goofed. That's a boost. It's not a full aspect, so it will go away as soon as you invoke it or something.
Okay. Yeah, I guess whoever wants to go next, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, I'll just like conjure like scrap metal or something into the engine,
Sure.
and I'll take that token. Or I guess you'll take that token.
Yeah, you're gonna give it right back to me anyway.
Yeah. And that's an 8. Holy shit.
Very nice.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Cooking with glass.
And scrap
Scrap
metal.
metal.
Oh yeah. Well, you did technically 6 shifts of damage on them.
Holy fuck.
The scrap metal gets sucked up in the engine, and suddenly it goes, and then like black smoke just starts shooting out of it, and the plane like dips a little bit, and then he's out of commission one way or the other.
I think he's been yunked.
You punked the yunk.
If I wanted to, there's still one plane, one Junker.
One
a
Junker.
boot, Junker a boot. Could I roll either tactics to kind of know what he'll do his next move, sort of thing? What would protocol be, or would I roll like intuition?
That feels like kind of a stretch to me, but Harmony did reveal her presence to them, so you imagine they'll probably go towards Harmony.
If I'm just staying here, do I have to roll for stealth again? Because I will.
I won't make you roll for stealth again if you're not moving.
Yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of watching. If something happens, I can step in. But I think
Are
so.
you guys done with this turn?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and say yeah.
All right, the other remaining Junker's gonna wheel around and come at Harmony. He's gonna make an attack against you with his machine guns.
Pew pew.
Oh, Kellys. Okay.
You're gonna have to roll athletics as a defense against this. He rolled a 1.
Athletic. Oh, thank God.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to give him a +2 on that.
Oh.
Why must you do this to
So
me?
now it's a 3. He's invoking his own aspect of Night Owl since they're special night combatants.
I rolled a 3.
Alright, you rolled a 3. So you don't take any damage, but he does get a boost on you.
What does that entail again?
It's I get to make a temporary aspect showing how you're being put at a disadvantage by this attack, even if it didn't actually do damage to you.
Force you to zing.
Okay.
Oh, here, I got a great original concept for what happened to your motorcycle.
Oh.
Lay it on me.
Engine done goofed. You don't get hit, but one of the bullets pings your motorcycle, and you're attuned to it enough that you can just feel like something's been knocked out of place in your baby now.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That ends their turn, so it's your guys' turn again.
Alright, I'm thinking maybe if there's another patch of clouds nearby, I can dive into that and hopefully shake him, buying an opportunity for everyone else to get past. Actually, you know what? On second thought, fuck that noise. He's a Nazi and he shot my bike. I cast Fireball.
There you go.
All right, roll a kinesis attack.
I rolled a 4.
You do 2 shifts of damage to him. Your
Alright.
fireball makes clean contact with the fuselage.
Alright, for the rest of my action, I'm just going to put my hand on my bicep and give him the old Brad and Air, which means I'm flipping him off, essentially.
You know what sounds like kind of a fun idea at this point? I'm just gonna drop a giant cube on him.
Oh, there you go.
Conjuration.
Go ahead.
I got a 5.
That's you rolled a 3 on his defense, so you do a slick 2 shifts of damage.
Woohoo!
All right, you blew up his plane.
Excellent.
Terrific.
Okay, congratulations, team. We just took 2
Yeah.
lives.
They were Nazi lives,
This is
though.
where
Now to finish
is
that
where-
race.
Really?
No, you won the race. You reach France first, Harmony. Guinevere,
Hi.
it's your first day at the barracks. You've met your squad mates, you've moved into your quarters, and your first session of basic training is behind you. But before you call it a day and get some much-needed rest, you have one more stop to make. The stables. Unlike the rest of the squad, who were able to stash their broomsticks wherever it's convenient, Titan is being housed here in the stables alongside the officer's horse. Well, what is Titan's current temperament, and how are you helping him through it?
He's a bit on edge because he's around other horses and things that aren't necessarily accepting of him just because of his appearance. So I'm helping him through it by giving him some of his favorite treats.
As you try to soothe your companion, your ears perk up at the sound of footsteps as someone else enters the stables. What are you going to do? You're currently in here alone. Are you going to hide, or are you going to stay where you are?
I'm just gonna stay where I am and just kind of play it cool while engaging with Titan.
You watch as your new commanding officer, Captain Aguila, rounds the corner and walks towards you, and you note that she's carrying a bag under one arm. She smiles and waves as she gets close. Ah, hey there, soldier. Guinevere, right?
Yeah, hi, Captain.
I heard about your friend here, and I thought I'd come introduce myself. I don't actually know what hippogriffs eat, so I brought a couple things. She reaches into her bag, she pulls out an apple in one hand and a slab of raw meat in the other.
Well, I mean, he eats both, but he's definitely more of a meat eater.
She holds out both of them to see which one he takes.
And Titan takes the meat right away.
Aguila smiles with a combination of satisfaction and relief. Her hand twitches, and for a second it looks like she's going to reach out and touch Titan, but she doesn't. She tucks the bag back under her arm and turns to look at you. She has an expression on her face that is not immediately familiar to you. You're lucky to have such a loyal partner with you. Make sure you watch each other's backs out there. As she leaves you alone with Titan once again, you finally realize what the look you saw on her face was. It was a look of parental concern.
Well, and as she walks away, I kind of like look her up and down and just watch her in silence, and then I look back over at Titan and I say to him, "Well, maybe this place isn't going to be so bad after all, buddy."
All right. I would say with your guys' experiences with her, you discovered one of Captain Aguila's aspects. Caretaker of the Lost. Finally, you see the French countryside come into view. You skim past a mile or two of treetops and spot a clearing below you that looks like a prime spot to touch down.
Ooh, touchdown.
Touchdown! Are you going for the 2-point conversion or the kick?
Oh, kick all the way.
Yeah, the kicks
Who
is
wants to roll
a safer bet.
Roll for kick.
All right, you're in France now. You touch down in a clearing. You're in a clearing in the French forest now.
Majestic countryside.
Excellent. We should establish contact with Aguila as quickly as possible. And actually, first, can I make a recon check to see if there's anything in the area that we should be aware of?
Oh, I'll also do a recon check with you.
Excellent. I love it.
Do you want to do 2 separate checks, or do you want to help? Or one of you
I
help
got a
it?
9.
Oh, she rolled a 9, kind of a moot point. What did you roll on that?
Mm.
Oh, you accidentally gave yourself an additional +3 on top of your regular +3.
Oh, well, I mean, I still got a 6.
You still got a 6, which is still more than good enough. So no reason to feel bad about
Okay,
this.
good.
No, it looks pretty quiet around here.
Okay.
You might see like some small animal tracks or something, but nothing like suspicious.
Okay. I guess I'll come in, Captain Aguila. Come in, Captain Aguila.
Red, is that you?
Yes. Siobhan, ma'am. But yes, Captain Aguila, it's me.
Did you all make it to France okay? All in one piece?
I mean,
Slight things along the way. 2 enemy aircraft were downed on our travels, but we are here.
Down? How do you mean they were down?
Harmony kind of like waves her arms and goes like,
Harmony flapped her arms and made an explosion sound, ma'am. I may have also dropped a giant cube on one of them.
All right. Well, let's hope they don't get suspicious, I guess.
Yeah, so with that in mind, time might be a little bit more of the essence. So what information do we need to find the informant?
All right, listen close. Your contact is waiting for you in a safe house in the Picardy region of France. It's not too far from the coast. You should be able to find it by following the Somme River. A British intelligence operative will be waiting for you at the house to fill you in on further details.
Someone writing this down?
We're highly trained combat units. We're fine. Keep talking.
Javon starts writing this down.
All right, you want to look for the Delacroix estate, is what it's called.
Okay, Delacroix State.
When you get to the house, knock 3 times on the front door and say, "The crow caws at midnight." If the man inside responds with, "And the cat sours the basil," that means it's safe to enter.
Okay.
Like you said yourself, time isn't exactly on your side, so, on delay.
Okay. Roger, over and out. All right then, everyone. We should make haste along the Somme River to the Delacroix State.
You guys scout around the area, and eventually you find a river to the north, which you assume to be the Somme River, based on your location in the map. And you follow it along, heading mostly east, sort of east-southeasterly direction. It's featureless terrain, featureless countryside. It's tree-lined riverbanks. Eventually, in the distance, you see a town come up in front of you.
What's the name of the place that we're looking for again?
The Delacroix State. If it's named, I think the locals would be able to give us some information. Harmony, you speak French.
That I do.
I'm also afraid, though, that the locals are going to be Nazis.
Yeah, I was gonna maybe say let's roll recon and see if there's any soldiers stationed there, perhaps.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
German occupied.
Let's scout out. Let's get some recon.
So would anybody like me to roll recon?
Would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I feel like this is your field of expertise now, Guinevere.
Wow. I used up all my good recon on the last one.
You want to invoke an aspect on that or
Hell
something?
yes.
Espionage?
I mean, or distrustful, because like the locals might be Nazis.
Well, what exactly are you trying to do here? What's your approach? You guys are still outside the town at this point.
Well, actually, you know what, guys? Since we're approaching a town, I can just change into my Tuatara form and then just listen to them. Because if I hear German, then they're probably Nazis. If I hear French, then they're probably French people.
I'd also say look out for like Nazi uniforms.
Okay, roll the 2 on my shapeshifting.
That's sufficient.
Okay.
Well, you have favored form, don't
I
you?
do, yeah.
As long as you're taking your favorite form, you get a +2 on the roll, so you got a 4 on that technically.
Sweet. Okay.
You are now become Tuatara, destroyer of ankles.
Yes. Okay, so in my Tuatara form, I approach one of the busier buildings through via shadows, so I'm still relatively hidden.
You go into town with the intention of approaching one of the busier buildings, but it quickly dawns on you that none of the buildings here are particularly busy. Because as you approach, you realize you don't hear anything. You don't hear any voices of people, you don't hear the rumble of any cars, you don't even hear the sounds of any animals, save for the faint bird song in the woods behind you. You've now entered the town of Abbeville, as evidenced by the sign you see on your way in, but you now realize that this place is completely deserted.
Okay. Do I notice any like heavy footprints leading to a specific area, or is it just completely deserted?
You can try to roll recon for that.
Okay, 2.
Nothing that particularly sticks out to you, no.
Can I take a peek inside of one of the buildings just to see what's in it?
You peek through a few windows and you see most of them look pretty normal. Some of them look like there were signs of a struggle, like the furniture was knocked over or something, but you don't, other than that, there's nothing that sticks out to you. You still don't find anyone in any of the houses.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way back to the team and report to them what I have found.
That happens.
Okay, guys, here's the thing. Literally nobody is there.
Well, that is weird, but on the plus side, at least we don't have to worry about keeping a low profile.
Yeah, we can just kind of walk
That's
in,
good going.
technically.
Yeah, sweep for info on where this manor might be, keeping an eye out for it itself.
Mm-hmm.
Would we all head over and roll recon then?
I mean, everybody roll recon. We'll just determine who finds what, depending on what.
We're at a 2.
0, 2, 4. Come on.
4.
-1.
Guys, I found a town.
Siobhan, you head down to like the. I can never remember what the word is. You're looking for like the neighborhoods and stuff, like where people might live. And you kind of find the same thing that Guinevere saw. One or two will have signs of a struggle in or around them, but otherwise there's nothing very much to be noticed there. Audrey and Guinevere, you guys investigate sort of like the industrial sector. I should probably qualify, this isn't like a little town. It's kind of like a big town, not quite a city, but it's a larger town. So yeah, Audrey and Guinevere, you guys investigate like the business section stuff, and here you start to find something interesting because some of the buildings are just completely gone. Like it might be like at some point it's like one or two buildings. In other places it's an entire block that has apparently been razed to the ground.
And not much rubble. How's
Like,
it? Yeah,
is
is it
there-
like remains of it, or is it pretty damn clean?
Like destroyed, leveled. Like something blew this shit up. But like weirdly selective, because sometimes it's just one house in the middle of the street, not like everything around it.
So there must be a pattern behind the reasoning.
But it like touches only the house. Like if it's one house, it's just that. The other ones aren't like touched at all.
They might have a few marks of like singes from being right next to something that got blown up, but it was obviously singularly targeted. Silas, you make your way to the train station eventually because you figure, hey, there's a train station, they'll probably have a map there. And they do. They have a map of the general area that points you to the Delacroix State is about 15-20 miles north, 15-20 miles south of here. But also with your further investigations, you notice that you do find a train in this train station has apparently been knocked on its side, completely knocked off the rails of the train tracks, and has now been twisted and destroyed. And as you investigate it further, you realize that it has become fused to the metal of the rail tracks. Like the metal of the train and the metal on the tracks just like fused together.
All right. I'm gonna round up the gang and bring them over to the train station.
Well, I'm also going to report what Siobhan and I found about the buildings, because I think that's interesting, especially with the melted train and the tracks.
Well, I mean, I haven't shown you the melted
Well,
train
you said you
yet.
brought us over there to show us the train.
Apparently.
You said we were gathered. You implied that we had been gathered.
Okay. So yeah, the train has melted onto the tracks. I know where the Delacroix State is, but something big was here and melted the train to the tracks.
This is certainly strange, but for lack of any other leads, I think we should press on to the estate.
I guess we prepare for whatever could be the worst.
Could be dangerous. Yeah.
The trail to the Delacroix Estate is not like a proper street, it's more just like a stone path that weaves through the forests. As you break the tree line, you finally see it, an elegant yet decrepit mansion perched atop a grassy hill. The windows are dark, some of them shattered or boarded up, but the house itself is still standing strong. It's a big, not like a super fancy mansion, but obviously rich people lived here. Rich people who didn't want to live in town, obviously.
With the peasants.
All right, I approach the door. The Raven Cause at midnight.
Crow. It's the crow. This is why we write this down.
That's why we talk about things.
English is my second language. Cut me some fucking slack. The Crow Cause at midnight.
I'm backing away from the
And the
door.
cat sows the basil.
There we go.
It's a raspy voice that comes from inside the mansion.
Do we open the
I
door?
guess that's
then,
close
or-
enough.
That the door's not opening itself.
Tabarnak, I have to do everything around here. Harmony opens the door.
You open the door cautiously and step inside to find yourself greeted by the business end of a revolver. Slumped in a chair on the far side of the foyer is a sour-faced man with a tangled mop of curly dark hair and a mustache that looks like it might have been well-groomed once. His attire is stained and dirty, and his left arm is held in a makeshift sling. He's clearly seen better days. Once he's able to get a better look at you, he sighs in relief and withdraws the revolver. Blimey, it's good to see a friendly face for once.
Is that any way to greet a lady?
Well, I didn't know you were a lady.
Well, I didn't know you were an Englishman, so I guess that makes us both disappointed. She's French, guys. Harmony's French. Come on. There's a history of beef here.
Alright, so I got 5 ladies here. Is that what I'm to understand?
Hey, fuck you.
Well, fuck you.
It's
First of all, Silas, fuck you for taking that as an insult. Secondly, what What's your name?
Shut the door.
Creak! Shut.
All right, the inside of the mansion is very much in shambles. It's kind of furniture tossed around everywhere. Obviously been abandoned for some time, but you're able to like find some broken ass chairs if you're
I
interested.
make my own chair.
I just stand in the corner in the back.
Name's Dudley. I work as an intelligence operative in the British Secret Service. I've been here in France for a few months now, trying to suss out any information I can.
Well, Dudley, maybe you can help us with a little bit of sussing of our own. Starting with, let's see here. What the fuck happened to the people in this town?
Ah, you saw that, did you?
I mean, there's a train melted to the tracks outside. That's pretty hard to not notice.
How much do you know about why the Witch Brigade was started?
Essentially, we were designed as, or recruited, or enlisted, or conscripted as an elite task force. Every country has a couple on hand. It was just thought that with the Axis powers having swept through Europe so rapidly, it was necessary to branch out to other talents to see if we could sway the war closer towards the Allies' side.
Is that the line they're feeding you nowadays? Shit. Yeah. I could probably be court-martialed for telling you this, but the reason the Witch Brigade was put together was because the Allies needed something to stand against what the Axis already has.
Dun dun dun!
He reaches behind him and he pulls out like a file folder, or I don't know if they had those back then. A mission report folder. And he hands it to you. Who's going to take it?
I open it and start reading it out loud.
Written on the front of the mission report is a title that says the Thule Division. The information contained within contains a series of classified mission reports. A lot of them, there's not a whole lot of information available. Most of them usually end with mass casualties or disappearances of commanding officers. Basically, you gather that the Thule Division is an Axis, basically the Axis version of the Witch Brigade, but they've been doing this for a lot longer than the Allies have.
So they've had access to more training, resources, and strategic development.
Tabarnak.
From what I've been able to gather, this is basically the Führer's pet project right here. They're running the show basically as they see fit. And unfortunately, we barely know diddly about them.
And let me guess, this town, these people, they were target practice.
I don't know what happened to them. They vanished. But when we were able to put together, I mean, you saw the wreckage. They didn't let anyone get away now, did they?
Harmony is just silently fuming right now. I think the deaths of innocent bystanders definitely falls under the purview of her won't stand for this aspect.
I'll give you a fate point for that.
How long did we know about the Thule Society before establishing the Witch Brigade?
Some of us had suspicions. Some of us who've been on the front and seen these kinds of things firsthand had suspicions for a couple years now, but it didn't come to the forefront of what the command was looking at until January this year. You may have heard a little bit about it. You know, you heard about the Bancroft Initiative. That was a direct response to what the Thule Division has been doing.
So, we've had suspicions about this for 2 years, and we only responded a few months ago.
Wasn't my call, mate. Listen, I've been here in France for over a year now. I've seen this firsthand. If it was up to me, we'd have been doing something about it from the beginning.
I think the question that we should be asking at this juncture is, what can we do about it now?
Well, if you're here, then you're probably here to... You were told that there was a prisoner that we needed to extract, right?
Yes.
All we know is that the Thule Division is taking a prisoner that they are treating with the utmost importance. And we barely know about the Thule Division to begin with. We don't know nothing about who they are, who they're holding. But what we've been able to intercept simply calls them Oma.
Oma?
Oma. O-M-A.
Oh my god.
As in the Dutch word for grandmother?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh my goodness.
Audrey, is there any chance that you can patch up our friend here?
I mean, yeah. You want some? Do you want me to? Want to have your arm not unbroken?
Well, if you think you could do something about it, go ahead.
Let's set that right up.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll mysticism. This is a moderate consequence he had, so it's difficulty 4.
Yeah.
If you need assistance, I can give it to you.
I'm just making it read in my. It's a mysticism stunt combat medic. So like, yeah, all right. I got a 1. Yay.
Well, unless you want to invoke 2 different aspects on this to get a +4 on that, that's not going to do it.
Nah.
Yeah, well, you muster the magical energies as best you can, but you're just not. The wound is either too great or you're just not able to do it right now. So
Yeah.
the spell fizzles.
Like I'd invoke stuff. It was one of my own team and shit. I barely know this guy. I'll try to help, but I can't exactly.
He seems largely unimpressed with your efforts, however.
Yeah, well, we're new. We've only been around for a few months. Just saying. I'm working on it.
If that's the best you could do, you might as well turn around and go home right now. Otherwise, you're not going to stand a chance.
Oh, trust me. You haven't seen what we can do.
You haven't seen what they can do.
Say we're not the ones with the broken arm stuck in a chair.
Well,
All the POWs they've been taken in this area, everyone they've captured, have been taken to a site called the Duchamp Steel Mill. It's to the southeast of here. I was going there undercover myself, but I ended up getting compromised. But we got other contacts in there. Maybe you'll have more luck. We don't know who Oma was, but we know there would be an Eld there, at least as recently as last month.
Looks like that's where we're headed.
do you know the general layout of the steel mill?
I got a map here in my other files. I can go get it for you in a minute here. What else did you want?
I think that's really the biggest thing I wanted was just a map, so that way we could figure out the best points of entry.
Before we go, I kind of want to leaf through the rest of that folder, just to see if there's any information in there that we may have overlooked or missed.
The last page of the Thule Division file talks about known officers of the Thule Division that have been spotted in the area recently. The first page shows a picture. It's a black and white photograph of what it looks like, sort of an emaciated young woman with dark hair and very pale skin. And she seems to be like clutching herself, almost like if she's cold or like feeling sick. And she's like looking at the camera with very, very intent gaze. The first one goes by the handle Firenze, Italian. She made waves about 3 weeks back when the resistance made a move on a Nazi stronghold just outside of Paris. The Thule Division sent Firenze in to clean up, and that she did. Wiped out the whole resistance force. And most of the stronghold while she was at it.
Yikes.
Modi.
She's a walking time bomb, that one. If you run into her, avoid direct confrontation. The second officer listed in the file has even less information available. Only photographs, basically like the same quality as like cryptid photography. It's like blurry and out of focus, not from a distance, and basically just shows an indistinct dark shape photographed through a smoke screen. The second we have even less intel on. No official alias known. And before you ask, yeah, he is the best picture we've got. That one first popped up during the Great War, fighting in the German trenches. One day she made a push across no man's land, alone. Makes it to the French line, without a scratch. Wipes out an entire company single-handed. Then she disappears as quickly as she showed up, leaving behind only the smell of blood and metal in her wake. Survivors gave her the nickname Le Fantôme de Fer, the Iron Ghost. Only tactical advice I can give you lot is that if you see her, if you even think you see her, you run.
Well, that is certainly some food for thought.
Here, let me get you that last thing though. And Dudley turns around, picks up another file, which is presumably the map he said he was going to give you. And he steps over to hand it to you. As he raises his hand, the paper slips out of it. And he's like, fuck. Well, I'm a southpaw, so I'm not used to using my right hand. And the second he bends down to grab it, a shot rings out as a sniper's bullet pierces through the window and zooms right through where his head was just a second ago.